What's happening, everyone? Before this next leg of podcast show starts, this is a reminder to you not to be a minge bag. Go over to Patreon, sign up for £1 a week and take advantage of all the Patreon perks. It is the Patreon that pays. We have a betting show on a Saturday, which the postman here is picking winners every single week.
Yeah, the betting show comes out Saturday mornings, covers UFC and boxing, footy when we're in the footy season. But yeah, we're winning on a weekly basis. I can't remember the last week we didn't find some sort of winner. So yeah, as Andy says, don't be a minge bag, come and get involved. And as I say, it's one of the best communities that you could be a part of, isn't it?
It's a belter. As well as the betting show on a Wednesday, me and Jord have a chat. That's where you might have seen on our Insta Reels about crocs, about harpooning people at the end of the night, all that kind of chat that goes on. And even better, every single Wednesday we do a raffle draw, and our sponsors Montrex give £100 gift voucher away just for being on Patreon. No better time to join. There's 30 plus episodes already that you can go back and watch. Again, no better time. Get involved. Don't be a minge bag. £1 a week, and we'll see you there. What's happening, everyone? It's the Sportscast, which means it's the weekend. It's me, Andy Grant.
It's me, Jordan Neal.
First off, if you're watching on YouTube, do not be alarmed. I'm not having a stroke. I have a massive abscess in the side of my face. I feel like I can't talk.
Glad you're doing well.
I feel like I can't talk properly.
We've brought recording forward early because you might not be here tomorrow.
I also feel like crying as well. So if I slur me words, I'm not pissed.
Just think, by the time people are listening to this, you'll be solved.
Oh lad, I feel like I've got a golf ball inside of my face.
When did it start?
I've had like a chipped tooth for a while, and I've just put it to the back of my head, and then I don't know, over time the holes got worse, and then it's got to the gum, and then there's an abscess, and now there's a fucking golf ball sitting there in my face.
Dental issues are right up there as the worst things of all time, aren't they?
No, so thank you, Jord, for bringing this forward. It's now Wednesday evening. We're recording for you guys on Friday. Again, big shout out Montrex again. They're giving away £100 each week. The winner this week was
Michael Donnelly.
We also give a £250 4-ball in a PGA golf course away, just for being on Patreon.
We just give away stuff.
We're just giving away stuff, and the postman's giving out bets on the betting show each week.
Oh, it's UFC London this week as well.
It's going to be a heavy one as well. Last time we were at UFC London, I won fucking 12 grand.
Yeah,
thanks to the postman.
Keep that in mind.
So I'm looking forward to the betting show this week. Also, let's not forget Health Kit Kitchen. Scrans every week off them are a belter.
Yep.
And also Bear Clothing. 20% if you type in Legged 20.
Let's get to it.
Let's get to it.
Even though you've got an abscess, lad, you've done notes. What a man.
Notes. There's a fair bit of sport going on this week. As
Professional
you know.
show this, you know.
Sportscast covering all angles. Starting off with footy. Again, hard to really comment too much on this because it's going out a couple of days later, but England women are now the clear favourites to win the tournament.
Were they the pre-tournament favourites?
I think they were in the top 2 or 3.
I've struggled a little bit with it, I'm not going to lie.
I'm not going to lie and say that I've not watched one match.
I've had a go. But the problem I've got with it at the minute, and I guess this is just a women's football thing, the top players or the top teams are good. The not so good players and not so good teams are crap. Do you know in like the Prem, you've got elite, good, shit at that level. Do you know what I mean? In women's football, I seem to think it's just like really good or not very good.
Is it disrespectful of me saying this, or who am I offending by saying this?
Someone.
A little bit like the AFCON.
No, yeah, but not as funny.
Do you know? Do you know what I mean? Though there's some players like Salah who are like, but then there's other players like, and you just like.
Did you see that match fixer in like Nigeria or something? Yeah. To Ben.
I felt bad having to go with the AFCON all the time.
Oh lad, the AFCON. When was it? January? That's the highlight of my year so far.
That was hilarious. Like, people are just saying, "Come on, it's a serious tournament." You know,
it's the biggest tournament in the world. Salah's life depends on winning it.
That referee that just blew up about 20 minutes.
83 minutes. And then they called him out on his mistake. He went sorry about that, and then blew up on 88.
Oh god,
legend.
But no, listen. Hopefully, women, the Lionesses, as they're called, they can get through the quarters, and I've actually got a ticket for the final.
Are you gonna go?
So I've got Albert a ticket. Yeah, my little girl. So hopefully England are playing in it.
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
That'll be the first game I watch the final.
Glory hunter.
No, big time. Transfers this week. De Ligt, remember him? Is that how you say it, De Ligt?
Yeah.
Remember he was Ajax's like main man.
Yeah, but so was Donny van der Beek.
He's went to Barca and just not really. I think Barca.
No, he was at Juve, wasn't he?
No, he was at. No, he was
De Ligt.
Yeah, wasn't he at Ajax though first?
Yeah. So he was at Ajax and then he went to Juve and now he's gone to Bayern.
Yeah, but he had so much promise, didn't he?
Do you know how old he is?
24, 25.
22.
Nah.
He is, lad.
He was like 21 when he was at Ajax.
12th of August 1999.
See, I remember seeing a video when he was captain of Ajax and you thought, wow, this kid's
Yeah, but I think that's
because
because he was captain at like fucking 11.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Captain young.
But yeah,
He's on the move anyway, 68 million to Bayern. Bayern are doing bits.
They are, but they're so
I know
so
they've
big
lost
Rob.
Lewandowski, but getting Mane in there and then
Yeah.
Delete.
I mean, there'll always be a problem Bayern, won't they? Just
Yeah,
because
I
of
think
like the well-oiled machine they are.
They're just a stalwart for minimum like quarters of the
Think that-
Champions League.
I think that the little suits German football as well, because he's quite technical, isn't he? And he's fairly quick in that. But mate, his senior career record is like some of the most satisfying reading you can. 77 games for Ajax, 8 goals. 87 games for Juve, 8 goals. Fairly like.
I just think what I was going to say about Barca, again, bit of a big statement to make, but just since the Messi show's gone, they just seem to me a little bit like a sinking ship a little bit.
They are, but Big Rob will score for fun there, mate.
Yeah, but I don't think they'll do anything to Madrid unless Xavi gets them playing some crazy style of football.
The only thing is, in Spanish football, you get a lot of chances, don't you? And you've got Lewandowski, he will score a shed load over there. But again, but imagine no team could have dealt with losing Messi out and like rebuilding that.
I know.
The fishy thing is that they had no money like 2 weeks ago, and I just racked off about 5 signings.
Do you know what though? I read a really interesting article, and I would talk about it if I knew and understood it, but I didn't. It was all about like.
Was it on the Athletic?
It was, yeah.
Don't understand anything on there.
It was just saying about how they basically thingied the books to make it. You know.
It's a job in itself, isn't it?
Obviously, they've sold him now for 68 mil, so that's give them a bit of money. But I think they can only spend something like 20% of what they make.
Yeah, that's like Everton, isn't it? So I think Everton, when they got whatever they got for Richarlison, I think it was only worth like 8 mil.
Yeah, because they had to give Watford some money as well.
Yeah, but I think their Watford thing was, he didn't actually, a lot of their clauses were like Champions League qualification and stuff. So I think
there was a sell-on one though as
well.
but
they had to pay him only a margin of what it was, but I think in general it was only worth £8 million. It's crazy financial fair play, lad.
If you're a lawyer for one of these big clubs, mate, you are making dough.
Yeah, but it's a job, innit?
A sports lawyer though. Yeah, like a big corporate sports lawyer trying to save these big clubs money. It's
the I as a devout follower of football, I do not get financial fair play. If I said to you now, all right, I've never watched football, explain financial fair play to me, what would you say?
You're only allowed to spend the money that you bring in.
But it's so subjective, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, that's why Man City have got that Airways who are just bankrolled by a country.
It all is sports washing, mate.
Yeah,
but we haven't really.
Mate, there's some great sports washing news when it comes to golf. It's fucking great.
Stenson.
So yeah. I can't wait to get on to golf, to be honest.
European captain? Nah, fuck that.
It's so funny, lad. Talk about sports washing in a sense. PSG looked like Neymar was going to be leaving for Man City for a little while.
Yeah.
Pep's come out and said no. Not happening.
He's not good for the culture, Neymar, of a club.
No.
Not that City.
And allegedly, he gets it on with his sister.
He does?
Have you seen that?
Yeah, he does.
Weird that, you know.
It's fucking weird. Every year he's suspended or injured.
I seen one where he was like rubbing some like tan lotion into her ass or something.
Yeah.
It's weird, man.
I mean, putting suntan lotion on your sister's maybe on her shoulders or something,
on
as a lovely like brotherly gesture. But
her ass though.
Yeah, he's a dodgy fella, Neymar. Yeah. He just looks dodgy. But like, I don't want to say the word that most footy players seem to be getting arrested for at the minute, but with your sister, come on, lad. Do you know what I mean? Have a word.
Yeah. If you're going to rape someone, at least not make it family.
But he's got a mad tattoo of it now, hasn't he?
Has he?
Yeah, on his arm.
See, lad, I don't even want to talk about it. So yeah, anyway, Pep's mouth said that's not happening.
Did you see that video of the have you seen that comedian, the one who gets dressed in a purple jacket and just waits to like greet people?
Funny him.
Seen
Hawk.
Seen the one where the Man City lad? He said to Haaland, "You are a fantastic Nordic meat shield.
Brilliant.
You have a perfectly symmetrical face."
I retweeted it. Yeah, I messaged him to come on the show, but he hasn't messaged me.
Oh lad, he's funny. Him. Was he go in there and smash it?
Yeah. Never change. Never change. Mate, one of my signings I said in jest, which got me a bit of abuse, was old Jesse Lingard. Looks like he's going to Notts Forest.
160 a week, apparently.
Shut up. You know what frustrates me about footballers' wages?
160 a week, lad.
You know, if you are the likes of Salah, Ronaldo, Messi, and you want 400 or 500 grand a week, good on you. You are one of the best in the world. You know, if you're a bricklayer and you say, I want to be paid £500 an hour, but you're the best bricklayer in the world, crack on.
Yeah.
Got no problem with people who are being the best.
Ain't it?
It's when you're just alright and you're earning silly money.
Yeah.
That's
or
the thing
demanding
that
silly money.
frustrates me.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think...
so are Notts Forest going to pay that?
160 apparently. But
how can Notts Forest afford
mate,
that?
have you seen the money they spent? They bought that lad who we sold... Tayo Anwi is his name is, or Tayo Anwi. Anyway, we signed him years ago, couldn't get a work permit. We sold him for like $1 million to Union Berlin. He went over to Germany, banged goals in. Forest have signed him for 17.5 million. Honest, like, they've signed, I think they've just got 2 lads from Huddersfield in. They're signing all kinds.
Notts are doing bits.
They signed Nico Williams for us for some daft money.
I think he'd be a good player for them though.
Yeah, but I think that he's just a decent player for me. But, I mean, it's a red flag on Lingard, I think, because for him, after being frozen out at United, when he went to West Ham and he had a really good loan spell, if he was still passionate about, getting the most out of his talent, it's a no-brainer, isn't it?
Yeah, but West Ham might not want him.
They did. They're in the race.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. If you look on Sky Sports News today, it was like him in a Notts Forest kit and him in a West Ham kit.
Oh, right.
They wanted to take him back because he played his best football there.
Yeah, if I was him, I'd be sticking with West Ham.
But there was shouts that he was looking at, like, at MLS and stuff. He's just looking at whoever's giving them the most dough, mate. And I think for Notts Forest, I can understand why you do it in theory, but you want to be careful what you're getting into.
Mate, a signing who Liverpool linked to a few years ago was
Paulo Dybala.
Dybala. He used to sign for Roma on
Yeah.
a free. Another mad one was Rangers have sold that Bassi.
He's a player.
Lad, have you seen the bit of business they done with him?
Yeah.
I think they bought him for 230 grand and sold him for 23 million.
He's a player, him though.
I know, but is he that much of a player?
Yeah, I reckon so. I mean, it's a great move going to Ajax.
It's a great bit of business.
Yeah, it is. But then in the same breath, they've just signed that lad who's not played a game for us for 4 mil.
That's my next point.
And we bought him for 400 grand. He hasn't played a game, sold him for 4 mil.
I got blown up, but who's been on the pod? He said, Ben Davies, what can you tell me about him?
I haven't fucking seen him. I don't even know what he looks like.
Not a lot.
Mate, but he'll get a little percentage of that.
Do you know what I want to know, genuinely, right? And if there's anyone out there who can tell me this, please let us know. Where did he get these numbers from?
Don't know.
Like Ben Davies, right? He signed him 400 grand from Preston, I think it was. Like, you're there until Big Verge gets back. No one could play.
Did he win him good enough to train? I don't think he got cast off.
Well, I think they had like fucking Henderson at centre back before they put him there, even though he was a centre back. Anyway, whatever. He's not got a game. But then someone's just went 4 million.
Yeah, and they've gone, yeah. That's what we'll do.
Where does that come from?
No idea. It's like, remember that lad Brewster? We sold him for something
Brian
mad.
Brewster, yeah, to Sheffield United.
Played a couple of like League Cup games and he was scored in them.
Jordan Ibe was another one.
Yeah, he went for mad money, didn't he?
Brad Smith, another one, left back, both to Bournemouth.
How do we do it? But that said, that Calvin Bassey going to Ajax is an unreal move for him. Obviously good for Rangers, but he'll come back. He'll be in Europe. Lad, he's a player.
The other one I see, mate, was Luis Suarez, also on a free. He's being offered to Dortmund because the star striker they've just signed has very sadly got testicular cancer.
And he found a tumour, didn't he? Seb Haller.
Which is obviously sad for him.
He got offered to DC United and Welsh said no, didn't he? He hadn't to them.
Suarez?
Yeah.
Really?
And Rooney said no. He said, I respect him, he's a good player. But I want people here with ambition to play football, not people coming to retire.
Fucking hell, he's want to talk, isn't he?
I know, exactly.
He done the exact same thing.
But obviously he knows why people are going there. But mate, imagine when Suarez was flying at Liverpool, you'd say, like, I know it's 10 years down the line now, that he'd be one day a free agent that nobody wants.
I know. But does no one want him because it's him, or does no one want him because of his wage?
It's a bit of both. He's not the player he was, is he? By a far stretch, he couldn't even get. I think Atletico Madrid at that point would be losing, wouldn't he? And he wouldn't even bring him on. But he did average 1 in 2 there, you know.
Oh, mate, he's done well for them. He won the league with them.
That's what I mean. But towards the end, his stats are still decent for someone to take a gamble on him. But again, it's what back in the day you'd have him because he was a genius who was tapped. Now he's just tapped and kind of good.
Just a liability, now, isn't he? That's it for the transfers, mate. In other footballing news, though, sorry to bring up the dreaded COVID. What's been interesting, don't know if you've seen this, but Pep was moaning this week about Man City's pre-season plans in America have been disrupted because Phil Foden, John Stones and Gundogan haven't been able to go, which basically means that they've not met COVID requirements.
Yeah, there's a couple for Chelsea and Kanté
and Loftus-Cheek. So it also brings into the whole World Cup as well.
Yeah.
Because I don't think anyone's going to be allowed in the old where is it even? Qatar.
Shh, fucking mad that it's that.
So you got Foden there. You know, Foden's going to be in the team. He won't be going.
Nah, all Liverpool players went though, didn't they? We didn't have anyone held back. But do you know what else is interesting about that? Like, I thought all that was gone. I didn't realise he was still...
Hey, why hasn't Foden got a fake passport or something? I know loads of people have got one.
Yeah. He probably, you know, he's dumb as shit anyway. Do you know, another interesting thing about the World Cup, see that they're having air conditioning units at the side of the pitch. Oh, yeah. But there's no doubts that whether it would have any effect at all. Because it's outside, so they're saying like on the pitch it could be like 80 degrees or something like that. So it'll literally affect the play, do you know what I mean? But the theory was that these big things on the side of the pitch would like obviously make the pitch cooler. But if they do it too powerful, it'll blow the ball, won't it?
Oh, fuck hell.
So they got it. So the theory is that they're gonna have to lower these down a bit. But then when you lower them down, the temperature on the pitch, because you're in the middle of the desert.
It's a fucking shit show, innit?
Yeah, but do you know what? Like, everyone, or new listeners maybe not so much, but most people know my thoughts towards international football. I won't even watch that World Cup.
No, I'm not that bothered.
It's ridiculous, mate. How much?
Especially if Liverpool are flying in the league as well.
Yeah.
If we're like
you
top,
have that little
and then
off.
we have to stop and we come back.
I love winter Premier League as well.
Same.
The winter's about footy.
I know.
And it comes back on Boxing Day, doesn't it? But
I know, but that December is normally anyway. Yeah. I'm not gonna get pissed off about it yet.
Yeah, we'll just boycott it when it comes.
Yeah. Also, mate, bit sliders. I think this next story. Shakhtar Donetsk have basically went to UEFA moaning about the sanctions that have been put on. So I don't know if you know, but UEFA turned round to Shakhtar players and said any foreign players you can just suspend your contract if you want. So you know, because of the war, obviously in Ukraine. Yeah. And they said in 2023 you can just leave for nothing. Now Shakhtar have went, fucking hell, we're going to fucking sell him for 20 million next year. Yeah. And now he's fucking gone. You just become a victim of something that's not yours, don't you? So I'm not saying Shakhtar were ever going to win the Champions League or whatever kind of, but at the end of the day, that's fucking not their fault, and they've been shit on from a great height by UEFA. They're a big breeding ground for Brazilian players, Shakhtar, aren't they? Yeah, they have loads of Brazilian players. Do you know why I know that? Because in uni, when I played FIFA, I always went Shakhtar Donetsk because they had little random Brazilians, and just you just have to have fast players in the wings, and they had rapido players. So I thought that was a bit sly. Yeah, it's far from. They're just one of many, though, aren't they? Them now, like people who've had to pay the price of this crazy war. I suppose, to be honest, yeah, I'll take a little step down. It's not the biggest price when you think of some of the proper prices people have paid. No, but still, it's a sports show, and in the sports sense, I mean, they've been fucked over. It's not their fucking fault, is it? No. But again, it's how they recover, and you never know who's involved at the highest level there and who they've pissed off and stuff like that. You know, it's not even worth getting into trouble saying about them. Like they fucking come for you then. Yeah, they'll be in L1 before you. Another bit of a sad point. I just think this is like embarrassing, man. So there was a Newcastle fan. It's the thing about this story, right? It's his age. Yeah. Oh. Have you heard this? No. Newcastle fan, 24, has been banned for 3 years for doing the Nazi salute. Hey, when he got done, he had previous of racial aggravation on his record. Absolute donut. I mean, of all the things you can be pissed off at in the world, right? I mean, fucking sing about the Tories, you know, fucking all the shit you can have a go about. Doing a fucking Nazi salute. I mean, come on, lad. He's bad. 24. Never known no different though, lad. Just a dragged up little arsehole. Just a fucking whopper. That is the way to describe someone like that. Do you know what I mean though? I saw that and was like, really? What would you do if someone did that next to you in the match? I'd fucking flip, you know. I know, I would. I reckon I'd kick off. I do. And I like that. I think the way to
combat the craziness in football is to allow self-policing. I reckon every ground, every ground used to have a firm who go to like away grounds and fight. I think every ground should have a core group of fans who just police themselves. And if you're a knobhead, you get punched by your own fans. And then we harmoniously just have a gang of alright fellas and women.
Imagine that. Right, John. Fucking hell, give it to those scars this weekend. Nah, he's acting like a knobhead and we filled him in.
That's what it should be like though. If we could all just start self-policing, then we'd be alright. But I guess that would be a way to do society as well.
Yeah. I know, yeah. And then back to from people being knobheads. So actually, a story I read which was actually quite sad. Stephen Reid come out this week. Did you see that?
No.
Stephen Reid, obviously ex-pro footy player.
Played against him.
Did you?
Yeah, when he was at Blackburn.
Oh.
We were running around.
Did he?
He was like...
levels.
Oh, mate. I was only on for like 20 minutes. I was like, fuck this, get me off. But I think he was like playing for Republic of Ireland at the time, but he had bad injuries.
He was playing for who island?
Republic of Ireland. Yeah, it's hard that. But he was, I think he was playing like a reserve game. Or it was like a behind closed doors game to get him fit or something like that. And I somehow managed to be there and got the absolute run around.
Well, he's come out, lad, and said he suffered massively from panic attacks.
Really?
Like before Prem games and stuff, and like going and travelling there and back, and he'd suffered crazy with panic attacks. And now he's trying to, get players to talk, which then led me on to another story of Danny Drinkwater, who's come out and basically spoke about the struggles he's had. And he says, it's all right, people think you're on X amount of money living in London. He said what people don't see is normal life. He said his nan passed away, his granddad passed away, his dog passed away. Anyone who's got a dog knows what that's like. He split up from his missus, so he hasn't got full custody of his kid. He's single. And he's like, don't get me wrong, there was bits of it that was good, but then that maybe lasts for a week or two. Listen.
You have to humanise footy players though, lad. And I'm the first one to criticise them when they be bellends. And most of the time, they deserve to get sold. Like, you're an idiot. But just because you've got money, it doesn't mean you're immune.
I think, lad, if you were on 150 grand a week, right, and things were going wrong around your life, for the first couple of weeks, you could play it off a bit. Like, say if you fell out with your best mate and your bird left you, and you fucking, you'd be like, fuck it, fuck them. I've got fucking 150 grand coming every week. I think that'd last for about a week.
Does that? Because money...
and then you'd be like... Fuck, I miss me bird, or I miss me mate.
Because once you've spent 150 grand a week once, it doesn't quite feel the same the second time. No. And then the third time, it's like...
It's really actually sad, you listen to him and stuff, and apparently, like, he had an okay pre-season for Chelsea, he was doing alright. The day before the window closed, got brought in the office and said, you're leaving.
He turned to drink, didn't he? And that's like...
Well, no, he was saying as well, like, he's got made out to be, like, this big drinker, and that. So there's one or two instances, he got done drink driving, but he was like... That was something I shouldn't have done, but he was like, I'm not this crazy drinker. And he's just someone who's kind of became a victim of his kind of profession in a way, do you know what I mean? And it's on Sky Sports News, the app. Quite a sad story, and I just thought him and Stephen Reid both coming out talking about it.
I didn't see that Stephen Reid one, but I know people close to me who've suffered from panic attacks, and apparently they are the worst. Like, you do genuinely feel like you're dying. Like, so to do that just before playing elite level sport must be absolutely... doesn't even bear thinking about.
And the last one, which I kind of guess, loosely relates to kind of mental health, but in a less serious way, is Harry Maguire getting booed in pre-season.
Lad, he took a shot from bar 40 yards. I'm starting to respect his absolute arrogance in his own ability. He's like, don't care.
I just don't give a fuck what you think.
I'm going to shoot from 40 yards.
I think that's what it's getting to.
I'm starting to respect it.
He's getting booed in pre-season. I mean, that can't be good.
Fucking boo our players. But like, it is bad, like, but...
Why is he getting booed in pre-season?
Do you know, they don't even know why all the people who support him wherever they are, Singapore or something, they're just jumping on what they see in the Prem. Do you know what I mean? But,
as much as we give him shit, and as much as I say he unfollowed me on Instagram when he signed for United, he is a human at the end of the day, though, isn't he?
Pipe down.
And again, trying to make a joke and be serious all at the same time. It is interesting, in where you do draw the line of like, right, he is shit, I'm going to fucking give him abuse because he's shit. So then go, actually, he's a human as well, Do
you know what, though? Do you mean you sitting here saying Harry Maguire's shit? Obviously, Harry Maguire's a great footballer, he's playing in the Prem, but...
he's unbelievable,
to say, at his level, we think he's shit. in my personal opinion, this is why I sit with it, that's fine, because that's our opinion and he cares absolutely nothing for it. So if your opinion that he's not good at football, you're allowed that sound. When you start to like personally attack him, you then cross the line. Do you know what I mean? It's like someone saying, "Oh, the leg."
But then some you can go, like he's got a big fat head. You could say,
slap it.
Is that too much of a personal attack, or is that banter?
I don't know, probably is, isn't it? But it's like someone saying the Legged podcast is crap, and we'd go, no problem, that's your opinion. But then it's like them saying the Legged podcast shit, the two hosts are absolute Tories, I can't stand them. They're a pair of fraudsters, the this, the that, and they start going in on you. Do you know what I mean? And I think that Harry Maguire probably gets that a lot.
But I think though, and if anyone did think that of us, I think that's all right.
I do.
Because
water for ducks back for me, like.
Well, yeah, not only
fucking only bird, my own bird thinks it. Mind you.
I think you're a Tory, you know? No, not only do I not give a fuck though, I think that's the position you put yourself out there, like we do in a pod.
Yeah.
He's put himself out there.
I don't think it's a tough one, innit? Because I don't know if you've seen there was a rugby fight with Eddie Jones, and he started shouting at him and calling him a traitor and all that stuff, and he squared up to him or whatever. But it's like, just because you're out there doesn't mean that you're free game.
No.
But also, when you are out there, you have to understand what comes with it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You can't stop it. You just have to accept that it comes with the territory. But it should also be policed. It's a very double-edged sword.
Yeah. That's it for footy. You know what I'm going to do, by the way? I want to introduce this next week. I didn't want to throw it on you, but I am going to introduce this next week. To give people at home something as well. I'm going to ask you next week maybe 5 or 10 questions.
Go ahead.
Just in the world of sport.
I'll get them.
Okay?
Yeah.
Just for people at home listening as well.
So what, you're going to ask me 5 questions?
Every week, just 5 random
I reckon
questions.
You should ask me one proper hard one.
No, it's going to be just 5 random questions.
And what, I have to answer them off the top of my head?
Yeah. As do people at home listening.
Sound. You were bladdered at the quiz.
Starting next week.
Do you remember the answer to this question?
Go on.
Which sport has a finish line that is not crossed?
Swimming.
Well done. You weren't that bladdered.
Thank you.
You were quite bladdered.
Next sport I want to move into, if you don't mind, is F1. So, don't know if you know where the standings are at the moment. You got Mr. Verstappen, number 1. I can never say his name.
Charles Leclerc.
And then Perez. Hamilton down in 6th.
Yeah, but he's done really well, you know.
Well, you say that, I'm going to disagree with you.
No, lad.
In the vehicle standings, you got Red Bull, Ferrari, Mercedes, the top 3 there, right? In the F1, the little thing I'm going to throw to you is about dynamics in sport, because you've just told an absolute lie and said he's doing well.
He is, lad.
The head-to-head he's having with old Russell, he's not doing well.
Yeah, Russell's performing out of his skin, but
yeah,
with the car, Lewis Hamilton is doing better than most other.
The same car though.
Yeah, I know, but
so Russell's doing better than
100%. Russell's doing better. That doesn't mean Hamilton's doing shite.
Well,
that's still a fucking hard car to handle, lad. Did you see the bouncing, lad?
Russell's doing it all right.
Yeah, but he's not, is he? Because he would have went in there expecting to do what Bottas done, where he's like at the front of. Russell's doing well, better than Hamilton, but still not where they need to be.
Well, my point is, what I'm trying to get to is the dynamics of Lewis Hamilton being 7-time, I think, is it, world champion.
Yeah.
The man, everything goes through him. Now, not only is the car not performing, which arguably is not his fault, but he's got his teammates who he should be outperforming.
Yeah.
He's now not.
He has outperformed in the last couple of races, though.
He hasn't. I've got the stats there.
No, in the so he's at the podium in the last 3 races, hasn't he?
Over the
season, yeah, he struggled really
in sprints, in finishes, in everything. He's second.
Yeah, because of the real struggles he had at the start. But he is finding his feet now. He's got 3 back-to-back podiums, lad.
I want to know.
He will win a race for the end of the year, Lewis Hamilton, before Russell.
I want to know how that dynamic works.
I think he's been quite open about it and he's heaped praise on Russell.
But at what point though does Russell get like big for his boots and go, fucking hell, look, I'm smashing him? If
he was winning races, he could. At the minute, George Russell's selling point is, well, I'm coming for like 5th, he's coming 6th. If he was going, I'm on podiums every fucking race, I've won 4, I've got the same car as him, he's down in 9th. Come on, you know, give me the best strategy, you know, put time into me. But he's coming like, don't get me wrong, George Russell's driving exceptionally well and almost died the other week. Did you see that? Yeah. But I just think he's not doing well enough to start demanding things. And I think Lewis will win a race before Russell does.
Do you?
But Russell's a great driver, by the way. And he's a cool character.
Yeah. I've seen as well, they can't help themselves, can they? Toto and Horner. Just going at it.
Lad, did you see that Instagram thing of Christian Horner? Remember when we were speaking about it?
On his horse?
Yeah, and someone put a day in the life of Christian Horner, and it was just, the funniest thing I ever watched. I hate him.
I don't mind him, you know.
He's a proper tough.
There's a bit of respect that he's banging Ginger Spice. Like, you've got to respect that.
I know, but...
Back in the day, mate, she was the one that you had pinned up in your room.
I was Mel B, me.
Aaron Jett from Gladiators.
How old are you, lad? 49.
Lad, you don't...
I don't know who Jett is.
Oh my God, are you messing?
No, I didn't.
Googling now.
I didn't watch Gladiators.
Stop the sportscast for a minute. Anyone who listening, watching,
Jet
pause,
Gladiators.
Google Jet Gladiators.
Yeah, how old is she though?
She was my absolute...
Lad, she's 52.
Yeah, but when I was a kid, she's probably, what, in her 20s or something? Lad.
Yeah.
You really, lad, look at that one on the left there in a day.
Lad,
wow,
she's
that's a sport we should have talked more about. Gladiators.
Not for me, yeah.
Anyway.
But
I digress.
Yeah, I was Mel B, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Ebony? Into the Ebony Spice?
I just like to be different, lad.
She would definitely get it, like.
Fire.
She would definitely. Or the
Fire.
old would, to be fair.
I don't know, you know.
Which one wouldn't you?
Victoria.
Nah, she'd definitely get it.
Nah, lad. You'd have to do by. I know why David Beckham's now got a brand of whiskey.
No, that's
he must just go, come on, love, you coming to bed?
Nah, she's lovely.
She's just dry though. Do you know her or something? Or have you been in a company or something? And
Unfortunately not. Mel C would be the one at the bottom of the list.
Yeah, a little Birkenheader.
Is she?
No, she's from somewhere. She just looks like a Birkenheader, doesn't she?
Anyway, we've mega digressed there by your perviness.
Everyone likes a bit of the Spice Girls.
Yeah,
but
that's why I like. Anyway,
no, Christine Horner, mate. Do you know Christine Horner's the type of person who you'd go out for you'd be at like a dinner or something, and then he'd tell a story about himself, and you go, yeah, it's great that, yeah, Christine, yeah. And you start talking, and you go, do you know what? Oh, there's another boss. There's another. Oh, come on, Christine, yeah, that was great, yeah. And then you go, oh, do you know that holiday? Yeah, oh yeah, we're gonna go there. I've got a story about it. Can I just tell you again? Yeah, go on, Christine, yeah, go on.
Isn't it funny though, we paint pictures of people in our heads? He might not be like that.
Lad, he rides a horse around his garden. He is like that. Everything is just about Christian Horner and Christian Horner's world.
He's a successful guy.
And then he just has a little bit of a...
I don't mind him.
He just has a little bit of a, you know, a little poshy over Max every now and then. I reckon when he goes at it with Ginger Spice, call me Max. I reckon that's what he says.
Do you reckon? Well, anyway, him and Toto are going at it over this flexi floor saga, which...
Yeah. Toto's a melter, man.
There's a loophole in the... Anyway, they're going at it, and I just think now that... I think now that Lewis isn't going there with Max head-to-head, I think this could be the real...
Yeah.
It was already a big rivalry anyway, but that could kind of take over and be
the
new Alex Ferguson, Arsene Wenger thing, you know.
I controversially don't think Max will win the world title this year, though.
I think
one of the Ferrari lads will get it. We're coming up to the summer break, aren't we? We got this weekend the French. We got the French this weekend. We got the French Grand Prix this weekend, I think, and then you have Hungary. You have Hungary and then Belgium, and then I think you have a little bit of a break. Yeah, you have a 4-week break, and I just think by that second half, I think Ferrari might do a bit. But that's me kind of signing it in because Max does me head in.
No, I like Mac. Isn't it funny how we like different people? I like people who are sometimes a bit of a knobhead.
I know, but
do you know what I mean?
I've said this loads of times in the Sportcast. I respect Max's driving. I think he's the best driver on the grid. No doubt about it.
You want everyone to be fucking amazing at the job and then be a bit of a fucking Jack the Lad character.
No, I don't. I don't want to go for a drink with Max Verstappen or nothing like that. I just want him to like do something.
Tell fucking jokes.
Yeah, just show a little bit. Like, he gets out the car and goes, yes, great race, I won again. Haha.
What do you want him to fucking do?
Just get out and go, fucking Lewis, look at you down there, you shit. Look at me over here, I'm a big dog. I like narrative, lad. I like characters.
Same, but if that's not him, what do you want him to do?
Don't be so good. I think mid-level...
Jordan's prerequisite, if you want to be an F1 driver, be boss at driving and also be like a really lads.
I think if you've got mid-level charisma, you should have mid-level talent. That's what I would do if I was gone. And I think if you've got top-level charisma, you should get top-level talent.
Imagine if that was for sport. You'd have someone like Robbie Savage being the Messi of the world.
No, because he thinks he's funny, but he's not.
Oh, so now it's your criteria of who is actually funny, okay.
Yeah, but then, for example, Crouchy would be the best player in the world.
Yeah,
because he's hilarious.
He does look like he's got decent banter.
Yeah, would you rather go out for a day out with Crouch or Max Verstappen? Crouch all day.
Yeah, but would I rather go for if you're talking footy, Crouch, or be in the company of Messi or Ronaldo, just to be around them, to be like, wow, you are.
Yeah, but I think it'd be like, wow, yeah, you're boss of footy, but you're a fucking dry.
Oh yeah, but
where's Crouchy and the boys?
Yeah,
I just don't like boring sports people.
Well, listen,
I think it's your responsibility to be.
It depends what mood you're in. Listen, if you're in a sport mood and you want to meet a sport and legend icon, you go and spending time with the likes of Ronaldo and Messi. Yeah. If you want to be with your mates and have a laugh, it's Peter Crouch.
Yeah, but I guess it's good to see, like, oh, that's what I'd be like if I was that good. Do you know what I mean? Not like I just hate robots. They bore me.
Someone who's not a robot is Henrik Stenson, because he's pissed a lot of people off this week.
See, I don't know what Henrik's. By the way, I won.
I know. I see.
25-1. I know. Cameron Smith, my man.
So, if anyone's been living under a rock, the Saudis have come in with some crazy dough and set up this live tournament. Basically, started throwing the checkbook about and just wafting it in every golfer's face to tempt them away from the kind of established PGA golfing, world tours, if you like.
I've never been more interested in golf.
Neither have I. It's worked. To be fair, it's
I'm
worked
in
because I'm invested. It's like Big Brother though.
Yeah.
It's like I'm invested to see who's gone next.
Yeah, I know.
So basically, this lad Henrik Stenson, he he won the Swedish Open, I think, a couple of weeks back. He's anyway, he was captain of the Europe Ryder Cup team, the upcoming thing, and
he won the Open.
He's just turned around and went, I'm fucking gone. But he gave them his word and said, I'll do it after the tournament. Or he gave some sort of agreement.
He would be sat at home like that. No.
He's just properly fucked them off. He's went back on his word, and now everyone's coming out saying, his legacy is now gone. He's a scumbag. He's this, he's that. And he's sitting there going, money. Oh, it's caused shit,
He was just looking at me and going, Henry, you might not be the captain, mate, but you're rich.
Lad, it's caused some. So Liv have also come out and said that there's going to be 3 more players announced this week.
Did you see Cameron Smith after he won the Open?
Yeah.
He went they were like, are you going to go to Liv? He was like, why are you asking me about that? It was like, remember when we had Shem on? Why are you asking me about that, bro? But then he was like, just leave me team to that. And his team was just in the back like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I did think it was a bit disrespectful of the reporters. He's just won his first Open, the Scottish Open.
Yeah.
It was like, well done, mate. When he's signing for Liv, he should have at least, give him half an hour.
I think Rory was kind of banking on winning his next major and then going, look, saying I'm back, first major since 2014, what he's going to give me, and then he lost it. I think Rory might be next.
If he does, I'll give him so much fucking abuse.
I won't. I'll be well in, lad.
But he's given the big one. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, but now he's in a perfect position. He goes, look, I've had to go to Live because there's no competition here no more. I'm trying to win one of the...
Well, that's the next point. So the whole argument initially was you're going for the money. Now I think anyone who jumps ship now, it's like, well, I've got to come over because you'll fucking use there.
Yeah, it's easy now.
There's no one else to play against.
I'd be floating over.
You would have been fucking there already,
I would, lad. Me and Poulter. So, yeah. See when he stepped up on the first tee, Poulter.
It's boo. Well, he was getting booed.
Yeah, proper on the first one. Yeah, proper.
I think it's made golf more interesting.
Lad, I am in.
I'll be honest. I'm not even watching every bit of it, but I'm just seeing who's crossed the picket line.
I was glued to the Open. Lad, it's such a skilled game.
That's because you had fucking money on a 25 to 1 shot.
But it's such a skilled game.
So yeah. Anyway, that's all going off this week.
Come back next week for the next update.
Henrik
Who's gone next?
Stenson's gone, yeah. Will Rory McIlroy
Who's next? Gone next? Got Smith in it. Cameron Smith gone.
Smith's gone in, yeah.
Gone.
He's going.
He's got a nice little Bruce, hasn't he? Just like that. We were giving you 400 mil. Yeah, that's 650.
Smashing it. Just quickly on the old GGs. So I was at Ascot the other week, and someone I actually quite like, I didn't like for a day. Frankie Dettori had 2 awful rides on Stradivarius and Impulsive, was it? Another horse. Anyway, he hasn't been in great form. What's really interesting is he's kept the ride of Emily Upjohn.
Yeah.
but the owners of Stradivarius have took him off it.
Jocked off.
Which is interesting. So obviously the horses are trained by the same the Gosdens, but obviously different owners. And the owners of Stradivarius have said, like, thanks very much, Frankie, but you're shite.
Good.
And you were shite last time, so you're not going on him this time. Whereas on Emily Upjohn, they've kept him.
Yeah.
Which I think's interesting.
They just want to be mates with Frankie Dettori, though. He's a good jockey, isn't he? But he's
a great jockey, yeah. He's a great jockey. But anyway, the point I wanted to make on it is Emily Upjohn, which will have Frankie on board. It's racing on Saturday in the 3:35. It's the second favourite at the moment at 5-2. It's called
Westover.
That's
the one that Rob Hornby got.
So exactly. So that is the 5-4 favourite. So again, I'm getting good at this now. I've linked these two stories. So Frankie has kept the ride on Emily Upjohn, lost her on Stradivarius. Emily Upjohn's racing in a race where it's second favourite. Westover's the favourite in the King George. Rob Hornby was a guy who came third on it and's lost the ride.
Yeah.
So two jockeys who have had maybe different form, let's say, and some owners have decided to keep with them. Some owners have fucked one of them over.
Yeah, I mean, Rob did brilliant on that day when he got sort of blocked in and pulled it out and couldn't, was flying on, but then he lost it. But that's just racing for you, mate. It's a fickle game. It's greasing the palms, and then I know Rob won 2 Group 1s in a week, a couple of weeks back. Great jockey in that, but I just think it's all grease and palms. It's all, put Frankie on this, take Frankie off that. We'll give you this. You can have this ride or whatever. It's just do you know what? Like, my family's involved in it. My brother's a jockey. My dad's obviously got horses. The game's rotten though. It's a rotten game. Like, I enjoy going as a fan, but I would never be involved in it. No, not from like an owner point of view.
I'd like to dip my toe in.
I think, if you can get to the point where, like, you own a horse for fun, and you've earned enough money, and you manage to get a couple of big races out of it, great. But I think as soon as you're in, and like you wanted a bit, lad, it's just. I
can imagine it to be frustrating.
Just a horrible, like, it's like, do you know the Real Housewives of Cheshire, where they're just all weird women with loads of plastic surgery? It's just like that, but with men. Like, everyone's just saying, oh, I've got more money than you, or like they'll all go to the sales and outdo each other and all that. Just full of, it's just rich idiots.
I met one of them once, mate, and she couldn't believe that I didn't know who she was, because she was it was Jibril Cissé's ex-wife.
Was it?
And she was going, you know who I am. I was like, I honestly don't.
The Housewives of Chester, or whatever they're called. Oh, lad, I hate them all.
I don't know. I've never watched it, but one of them seemed pretty offended that I didn't know who she was.
Good. Even if you did know, I'd say I don't know you are, just to put a dagger in a soul. Yeah.
But anyway, that'd be a good race that if you're into horse racing.
Yeah, they will.
3:30 or 25-4, I think. They're the main two in the market: Westover and Emily Upjohn. On to tennis. This paints Russians in a great light.
Again, so here we go again.
Not only are they invading countries for no reason. One of the Russian stars have come out as gay. She trains in Spain at the moment. But she is Russian. She's come out as gay, and Russia's response was to try and get the lawmakers to ban promotion of non-traditional relationships.
Hate them, lad.
Not only are they invading countries and killing people innocently, they're now banning the promotion of gay marriage or gay partnerships.
Homosexuality is not illegal, but gay, what did he call it? Gay propaganda. Is frowned upon. That's not my words, by the way, that's their words. Like,
it's like they've just gone, as if the world doesn't hate our country enough. What can we do to piss people off even more?
How can we just be like, I reckon they all sit round the table similar to this, go, right, we're scum anyway, like, we're doing all this horrible stuff to innocent families. What else can we do?
Piss off gay people.
Yeah, do you know, let's go after them.
But I reckon, it's this young girl living in Spain.
Well done to her, by the way.
Good looking girl with a partner, young, athletic, making waves in tennis. And she's come out dead happy, went, I can't live being, in the closet any longer. I want to come out and be happy and be gay. And then someone's got the Minister of Sport in Russia, do you know that girl? She should come gay. Right, that's it. Let's change the law. You cannot promote gayness anymore.
Yeah. You cannot.
I'm sure they never said the word gayness, but
that wouldn't even surprise me. I hope she wins one of the big tournaments and gets a girlfriend on the court and then kisses her.
Yeah,
and then sends a mad
Fingers
selfie.
it.
Whoa,
I
dude!
couldn't myself. I was getting all like, yeah, come on.
And necks her and sends a selfie, and then sends it to Vladimir Putin saying,
imagine.
"Have a bowl of this."
Definitely.
You little egghead.
Proper. That's what needs to be done though.
I know it does. They just send a picture, 2 fingers up, saying, "I hate you." Beaut.
Do
Do you know what though? I know we've made a joke of it there, and that's sort of what the show's about. Yeah, but imagine how she feels, man.
Oh, she probably can't go back to Russia now.
No,
She get fucking
she
killed.
shouldn't even want to. Dude, I just hate them.
She's living the life in Spain with a dead fit bird. She'd be made up.
Just keep enjoying your life.
Bit more of a serious kind of sport one about how I'd be really interested to speak to a tennis player actually, because as we all know, Emma Raducanu's been had a tough year since the US Open. It's coming up to nearly a year now since she won the US Open. Obviously don't think she's made it past the second round in any tournament. The decision now, what I want to ask you, the US Open starts the end of August, right? So it's like 6 weeks away. I didn't know there's about 4 other tournaments between now and then that she can either try and take part in at least 2 of them or just do none of them. It's like, what better match fitness do you need? Do you know what I mean? Do you want to be playing one a week before? Do you do 2 weeks before? Do you have a month off? I mean, what do you just train? That's the questions I think she needs to be asking a backroom team, because obviously she's not been performing, whether that's from playing too much tennis or too little tennis. She's at a point now where she's got 6 weeks. There's like a few American, smaller tournaments. Or does she just sit back, train, relax, and go for the big one?
I wouldn't even play in it. Honestly,
no.
If I was here, I would just go away. Like, just go and put yourself in what a boxer would call a camp. Just go to, like, anywhere, somewhere in the world, take your new coaches.
Could she not do that for a month now, though?
No, I just don't think it's long enough. And it's like, all right, I've got new coaches and getting there. Right, let's go, another tournament, another big one. Do you know what I mean? Just go and play. Get your game to where it needs to be. You've got so much time on your side. If she goes to the US Open and goes out in like the second round, so it's just another negative headline going away. Do you know what I mean? Just go and like work on your game, work on your mental state, work on your mentality towards it all, and then just come back with a vengeance.
Be interesting to see what she does do.
I think she'll play and then, inevitably, go into that tournament and, she's not going to win it, is she, in the current form she's in? And But, yeah, I think she just needs someone. I reckon she probably needs someone to say, we're having a break, we're going away, we're going to work on your game, we're going to strip your game down to, like, your natural talent, and then we're just going to build it back up again.
Wouldn't it be, and I am taking the piss with this statement though, but wouldn't it be mad though if they had someone like legendary in the game come over to and go, listen Emma, you are a fucking jammy bastard to win that tournament. You are probably never going to win.
Home truths.
Yeah, and just said, like, that was fucking...
Probably fire a rocket up her ass, wouldn't it? For her to just go, watch this, yeah.
Imagine if, like, Serena or Venus went, look,
yeah,
I've seen you play enough games, you're shite.
Wonder what they think of it all. Probably they've seen it a million times, haven't they?
And that's what I'm saying. I hope she does go on and wins, but I mean, like, that's... When you look at Venus, Serena, I mean, that's when you're like...
Yeah. Mate, I've said it a lot of times, Serena Williams is the most impressive athlete I've ever seen in my life. My daughter started tennis last week.
Oh yeah, you said that was she on?
Lad, she went for the first lesson night and it was just all boys. And I was like, are you alright? And she was like, yeah. She went on, took her racket in, and she was loving it. Boss. But do you know how good tennis coaches are, by the way, if anyone's thinking about getting the kids into tennis? All them kids went there and they were from maybe 6 to 10 age. Not one of them could hit a ball when they went in. At the end of the session, after an hour, every single one of them hit a forehand over the net.
Really, yeah.
Every single one of them. And they all come from, like, he just broke it down, dead simple, and all the kids were made up.
That's right.
And, well, hopefully, yeah.
Mini Emma Raducanu on the way.
She might win a major before Emma. Beat her in the final.
She actually could, to think about it. She could be 18, Emma would be about 35, still not one.
Journeywoman.
Mate, on to athletics. Proper, like, feel-good story, this.
Yeah.
Jake Whitman, I think his name is. He won the 1500 metre gold. Whiteman is it? 1500 metre gold. While his Al man was commentating.
Did you see his half-hour going at one of them? Go on!
So his dad had coached him since he was 15.
Yeah.
And he wasn't like one of the favourites to win the race or nothing like that.
No.
And he's won gold. His half had us commentating on it.
Unreal.
I mean, that is the stuff of dreams, that.
Yeah, he was It was just, the video's unbelievable, but mate, 1,500 meters is so hard.
It's a disgusting, disgusting event.
Yeah, it's just pain. It's like, do you know when you run long distances? Yeah. You know this better than me. Like, so obviously the start, you're out of breath, but eventually you hit a rhythm, don't you? Where like, you sort of, you're in 1,500 meters. It's not long enough to like get a rhythm, but it's not short enough to not get tired. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's too long to not sprint.
Yeah.
But it's too short to jog. It's that horrible awkward where you're not in a rhythm. You're just like, but you're not sprinting, but you're not going to, you're just, it's horrible. Yeah. Horrible.
It is. The minute, if you're running that far, like that sort of distance, the minute you let, I'm tired, hit your brain, you're done, aren't you? But it was brilliant to watch. And I've said this to you before about when people have asked, what's one place you'd love to go back? Elite athletics or elite track and field, what they call it, is unbelievable to watch.
I think, not that I'm massively patriotic, but I think that day in 2012, that day, Super Sunday, they called it when like Mo Farah won, I think Kelly Holmes won, someone else won.
Yeah, Katrina Johnson-Thompson.
Yeah, I think that like they all had a good afternoon. That would have been cool to be there. Talking about KGT, she was, I think it must have been the last World Championships, was 3 years ago. When she won, she was defending it this time. She'd come out 7th or 8th. And again, spoke a little bit about her injuries. And again, I just think for someone in athletics, it's so hard. Like, if you're watching football every weekend, a star man gets injured, you think, he's great, but he's injured. One of them. I think when you're in athletics and like the fair weather fans, like maybe me and you see them 1 minute in the Olympics and then you don't see them for a year and you go, where they've been injured. You don't really... I don't think they get the respect. No. You don't appreciate it. She's had a terrible Achilles injury. I think she's had a few of them. Wasn't able to get back to it. Thought, what am I doing this for and stuff. So it's hard to kind of develop that. You always talk about a narrative, to like a sportsman. It's difficult with these events when, especially over the last couple of years with COVID, you can't really monitor it properly.
And then when you get to the big ones, you haven't done enough to be competitive. But I remember getting a new sort of respect for track and field athletes at when I was at Loughborough, a lot of them were training there. Mate, the way they were like strapped up day to day, in terms of like they'd have strapping to like the knees. They'd all be limping, like they put their bodies through hell. Like, and it's like every day is like pedal to the metal in it because you've got to. It's a game of obviously like that famous speech, but it is a game of inches. That like you can't give up anything. No, you can't, like in football where you could be a little bit slower, but your technique gets you out of it. In that, you've just got to be like 100% fit all the time.
So I was a bit gutted to see she never performed well. Onto boxing, mate. One of the lads off Patreon messaged me today. Just Fury. He's in the back of a limo. Have you seen it?
Yeah. I see it all, lad. Welcome to my life.
What music is he playing?
Don't know.
It's so embarrassing.
I'm fucking mute.
He's going, the only time I'm going to fight Joshua is for when everyone can get in for free and no one has to pay for it. That's the only time.
Last week he was going, do you know what'll get me out? $500 million.
Pick one, lad.
just do you know what? Do you know if someone in any walk of life talks shit, but talks shit consistently, I'm alright with it.
Yeah.
At least you talk it.
Same.
Back to back. He's up and down. Eddie Hearn done a thing this week and he was like, I respect him because he can say stuff and no one pulls him up for it. But no one says Tyson Fury talks shit. No one in the mainstream. No. Everyone just licks his hoop.
But I mean, you make a good point though. If like someone is funny and talks shite all the time, you kind of go, "It's fucking funny," lad. Yeah. Some of the shite he comes out with, fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And if someone's like quite a serious kind of, big on mental health, you go, fucking hell, fair play. Like, he does both.
Yeah. Mate, the other week he sat in a press conference and went, I don't need money. I've got a 60, what did he say? I've got a 14 plate Passat. Now he's in the back of a limo.
No.
So which one is he? Where's your Passat? Thought that's all you had?
I thought he was doing the tip run in his Passat and fucking Morecambe.
And you need to be nice with it because, not nice, but you have to respect his ability. He's a fantastic heavyweight. But when does it get boring?
Oh, it's been boring for me for a while.
But for everyone, when does everyone just collectively go, stop talking shit?
Yeah.
Just stop it, please.
Do you know who else has started talking shit? Eubank.
Oh, Chris Eubank Jr.
On the way in here, I saw Beefy running, by the way.
Did you?
Which made me think more about Eubank, yeah. So obviously he's fighting Ben, and he's done a tweet to Jake Paul saying,
Well, let me beat Ben and then I'll come for you. Lad, Chris Eubank Jr. is 32. Never got any win. Well, got close to the world title, but never been good enough. He knows, mate.
But do you not think it's really frustrating for Beefy?
Oh, 100%, because that's a great fight. But
I'd be so pissed off though seeing that.
Yeah, I would, but it's a compliment to Liam. Eubank,
Yeah,
if Eubank's always responded to everyone who's called him out, apart from Liam. He's gone, I don't really want that. That's just not for me. Because Liam's still got the like bite down on your gum shield. Like, he's not looking to get out. He's still got it, you know what I mean? He's still putting himself through hell. He's still out running on a Wednesday night when he's got kids at home. Do you know what I mean? I think Chris Eubank knows. I think he's finally come to the realisation, or someone said to him, you're never going to be a world champion, mate. You're not your dad, you're never going to be one. So he's gone, all right then. The Conor Benn fight, which is a win-win for him. Go and fight Jake Paul. Beat Conor Benn, go fight Jake Paul. Fuck off. Make what? 15 mil?
You even had the fucking cheek to put Canelo into the tweet though.
Yeah. I hate Canelo, but he would smoke the boots of Chris Eubank Jr. But do you know what? It's one of me, when he first popped on the scene, my first big ever betting win ever was Billy Joe Saunders to beat Chris Eubank Jr. in 2014. That was the first lad I put every single penny I had at university, which was about
£16.
Yeah, at the time it was about 280 odd quid, and I put it all on Billy Joe Saunders and won like 500 odd. But at that point, my dad, all my mates, he's going to be a world champion. He's just like his dad, and I was saying he's not. He will never be a world champion. And
That's why you're the postman.
It is. That's why I know. That's why
I know my nickname, or I think the architect.
I like that. I was really a big fan of that.
Do you know what I mean? Got the plan to bring the right people in.
It was good, that lad.
I like that. It's gonna stick.
It is. It's a little bit of an it's a
niche,
moniker.
Yeah.
But yeah, Chris Eubank Jr. But the Ben fight, it's gonna happen, mate. They're just arguing about the rehydration clause. What would you do if you who would you make favourite in it? Obviously, as just a casual fan.
Ben probably.
Yeah, just freshness.
Just he's got something to for everything what you've just said. Then you know, Eubank, what's he there for?
Yeah.
Where Ben's kind of got this right. That's it. I'm the next fucking. He seems to me like he wants to be the next Joshua, in the sense that he wants to be the next big cash cow, next big marketing baby. And
yeah, I think that it's just the weight that worries me. Like, he's been hit and hurt by welterweights, and he's going to be at like 156 or something. That's a long way out of his weight division now. It just depends on what the £4 takes out of Chris Eubank, I guess. Because they're talking about because if there is a rehydration clause, which obviously means Eubank could only gain like, I don't know, a stone or something overnight, that'll play in Ben's favour, because if Eubank can rehydrate to whatever he likes by the time they get in the ring,
a few stone difference. Yeah,
like Eubank could be 175, 176 or something like that, and Ben probably couldn't get to 175 if he tried. He'd probably be 160 odd. You know what I mean? Just because he wouldn't have to take that much water out to make the weight. You know what I mean? Well, it's an interesting one, but it's happening, mate. October the 8th.
And then, which brings us on, mate, to present day. UFC
London.
We've got obviously everyone out. It's gonna be a belter card,
mate. Honest to God,
talk to me about it, postman.
We were there, weren't we? Like the last time.
That was a fucking right weekend. By the way,
it doesn't even feel like that long ago, does
March it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, but again, obviously the
Cheltenham weekends and then the
straight to the UFC.
It was a heavy.
And it was one of the greatest fight night cards that's ever happened when we were there.
I know.
Do you remember Molly's elbow? Do you know the knockout I remember more? Toy Porter with Jai Ebi.
Yeah.
Because we had the phone out at that point, which was like, and then we were both like, Paddy, no, leave it. But
it was such a good night, that.
Yeah. Apart from when that fella's put a bevy down your back.
Poured a full pint.
He shit himself, by the way. I'm not one to give you much credit, but when you turned around and said, what are you doing? He's fucking ass fell out of him.
Lad, a full pint down my back.
I know. We've seen some characters there, didn't we?
Anyway.
But Big Tom's back on the main event against Curtis Blades. It's a fucking good fight, you know.
Well, I won't get you to go into it too much. I'll save that for the betting show. But with regards to, you know, again, don't give too much away, but are we thinking another clean sweep like it was last time?
Nah.
No?
Nah. No. It's like...
A lot tougher for them all around.
I think so, yeah. I mean, Curtis Blades has got like 18 UFC fights. Tom's had, I think this is 6th. Like, I know Volkov did, but when you look at the credentials of Curtis Blades, he can knock people out with one punch. His wrestling is, as good as anyone in the division. But you know my stance on Askren. I think he's the next gen. He's just an amazing fighter. But there's such a golfing experience like here. I know there was with Volkov, but I just didn't feel Volkov was as dangerous as Curtis Blades is, because it's mad. Like, Tom Aspinall's never been to the third round in the UFC.
Yeah, that is mad.
Like, at what point does he... We all can sit there and go, how amazing is he? But we don't know till he gets there, do we? And, like, you don't want to get there at the top of the bill on BT Sport in London in front of 22,000 people and your gas tank goes.
It's like, getting sold a car and someone says, when you press this button or put it into 6th gear, it fucking flies. Yeah. And you've never ever put it into 6th, and you're like, what's it going to be like? Because
for all we know, he could get there and be like, I'm gone, you know what I mean?
I don't know though, mate. I think he looks a beast. I think
he is a beast, but it's so hard to look at it through non-emotion. Do you know what I mean? Like, no matter how good you rate someone or how much you want them to be, I would love nothing more than the UK to have a UFC heavyweight champion. How fucking unbelievable would that be? But you don't know until he gets there. You don't know until someone like Curtis Blade puts one right on his chin. And Volkov never got the chance, did he?
No.
And no one has. But is that a case of Tom being too good that no one can possibly land on him? But
and he's headlining,
but
is Paddy and Molly making the main show?
Yeah, so Paddy's the co-main event. So under that you've got which should have been Jack Hermansson versus Darren Till. Darren Till obviously got bad knee injuries, so he got replaced by a guy called Chris Curtis. Now Darren's in the corner of Chris Curtis, which is mad.
Are they mates, are they, or something?
I think they got together training a year ago, when Darren was doing with Hamzat. I think they trained together, and then when he was coming to London, he mentioned in his media day, he was like, it cost me £1,500 up my purse to fly another cornerman in. He's obviously got his trainer. So he said, I just rang Darren and said, look, you've been training for Jack Hermansson. Would you like to come in my corner, trying out? Which is stroke of genius, really. But Chris Curtis is a fellow who's been he's been in MMA circles for a long time. It was weird, he got onto Dana White's Contender Series and he knocked a couple of people out. And then on that, you're performing and Dana awards contracts, and Dana was just like, no. So then he had to go away and he was on like regional cards and then got his break in the UFC again. I think he won like 3 weeks ago against Rodolfo Vieira, and now he's back out just taking his chance while he's there. Do you know what I mean? And
so he's not actually signed to the UFC?
He is now. But like he come into the Contender Series, got fucked off, went to the regional scene. I think he was short on a card in an area where he was living. Then he got 2 wins, got another win. Darren fell out and then his phone rang, sort of thing. So he's just been like hopping to every little opening of an envelope. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, which I guess you'd have to.
And then the one below that's Paddy. It's just, he's been funny, and he's
just been calling people in my mushroom, hasn't he? That's been the mushroom. I keep on hearing that.
Today he said he's not shaking his hand, or like, he's gonna sleep this kid, was his words, I think.
On the podcast again, I think he said the other day, he's gonna twerk over him.
Well, Jordan Levy is like, he's a good fighter, but he's very feminine in the way, like, the way he talks, the way he walks. Like, he's got a wife and kids and that, by the way, but like,
Paddy reckons that he wants to come out as being gay, but he's not.
Yeah, he's got a wife and kids and stuff.
He's trying to use it to be like,
trying to take the card, basically.
Yeah, he's using this feminine side to like try and, that's his marketability kind of thing.
Well, to be honest, he's quite a charismatic fella. Like, he knows the game, and he was really calm in all his media thing this week. And he does do the twerking when he wins, and he's a tricky little bastard. Like, he's got absolutely no hands whatsoever. So Paddy, we all know Paddy's sort of weakness is getting one right on the chin.
So that's not going to happen.
I can't see it, no. But I think it does interest me, because he is very tricky on the ground, but Paddy's obviously a wizard on the ground as well. So I think it'll turn to a grappling match. But when you listen to all the biggest brains in MMA, they say the same thing. He's weird. He's unorthodox. He's
if you're
strange.
him though, and Paddy's kind of susceptible to taking one on the chin, would you not just train for that though?
Yeah, you guess so. But if it's not your game, it's not your game. But I think all his things are saying that he thinks he's a better grappler than Paddy as well. Like, and he sort of wants to drown out the noise. But again, with Paddy, it's like when he's coming to UFC, we haven't had to watch him go to deep water. We've just seen him get punched and then submit people. Like, at one point, he's going to have to go into the second and third. And I think Paddy wins, and I think he probably gets the stoppage. I think he's got enough of an advantage on the feet to get the stoppage. But the reason I doubt it is because I think he'd be like, well, I'll just take, if you think I'm crap at grappling, I'm going to take you down and beat you there. That's Paddy's way, isn't it? But I just think it's a tricky fight, and I don't think people are giving Jordan Leavitt the credit he probably deserves, as Paddy mostly. But I think behind closed doors, Paddy will be. Yeah. You know, he's a professional as much as he puts this. Yeah. This whole
team
act
as well.
on.
Obviously, his team.
But yeah, again on the card you got. Do you want to remember Paul Craig? My favourite fighter. Yeah, he was getting filled in and then just got that triangle in. So
he's the one who was kind of lying there, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's just taking him, that's his MO. He pulls guard and everything, like. So he lies there, and then you make one mistake and he just snap your arm clean off. So Krylov, who he beat, is higher up on the card than him this weekend. I worked out. But yeah, you got Molly obviously taking on Hannah Goldie with a new set of teeth. Have you seen them? Yeah. Got a new pearl of set on she. But you've got Nikita Krylov against Gustafsson, who's a legend, and then obviously Paul Craig against Volkan Ozdemir. So the Paul Craig fight's really interesting because Volkan Ozdemir is a knockout artist. Like, he's got serious power. Paul likes to just let you hit his chin in the hope that you can get that he can grab your arm. So it's going to be like
how strong is your chin?
Yeah. And if your punch isn't hard enough, I'm going to snap your arm off. I love jiu-jitsu, lad.
I'm proper excited for this card. Like
that. But again, like, you know, you look at the prelims again.
Your man Mo's on, isn't he?
Yeah. Mo Mokaev, you little genius. But yeah, loads of interesting stuff about Mo this week. I'm saying that he's, you know, not going to be around for long. Wants to be the youngest ever UFC champion. He turns 22 next month, which means he's got a year to beat John Jones's record, which he'll do because he's a freak. But he sort of got support of the Bahrain royal family, and one of them's offered him $100,000 to get a submission this weekend, apparently. So he said, you get the submission, you get $100,000.
Is he allowed to do that?
Well, it's not. He's not a part of the UFC, is he? It's like me saying to you, go and smash that motivational talk and I'll give you $200, and you go, right, I'll get a standing ovation, I'll get $200. He's like, you know, go into your profession, get a submission, come
you
back.
should all listen to this on Friday. Me and Jordan put all the money on it by now.
Yeah. Unlucky. But
that's mad, isn't it? Sort of Bahrain, fucking hell.
He said, but he's backed by them quite heavy, I think. I don't know whether financially, but definitely support. Yeah. But there's a couple of things. There's a Dan Hardy, who's obviously a British UFC legend. He's got a YouTube channel called Full Reptile, and he's built a team now. And one of his like videographers is called Jamie, and he goes around loads of gyms and he'll speak to them. And he done a little piece with Mo Mokaev, and Dean was heavily involved in it. And he was just really interested. He's taking his religion really serious, and obviously fighting for money is against what his religion stands for. And you know, it's just interesting to hear him say, like, I'm here, I'm not going to be here for very long and stuff. Like, he could win the belt and be retired by like 25. It'd be a crying shame. But
no, you didn't get to see him, like,
and like, yeah, because he is frightening. He's the best.
Oh, I was super impressed with
He's one of the most naturally talented athletes you will ever see in your life.
He's the fella who gave me when I looked at it. I was like, oh, yeah. I fucking get.
He was like Anaconda, wasn't he? Yeah. Like the Cody Durden on the betting show. We actually won on Cody Durden's next fight. He won by first round knockout, so he's not some mug. And he made one, mate. He put his arm a little bit further than he should. Mo jumped on it, flipped onto his neck, tied him up, and choked him to sleep. Just a freak. But then you got Jai Herbert returning in finally a fight that might be weighed in his favour after getting knocked out by Toy Porter. Nathaniel Woods on there in the great fight, Mark Jacasey, and then Mason Jones versus Ludovic Klein, which is going to be an absolute war. I actually seen Mason Jones in the bog when we were in the O2 last time, and now he's on the card. How funny is that? But yeah, just an unbelievable card. But if you're interested in UFC, then come over to Patreon. We'll be breaking it all down on the betting show. Can't wait. No boxing this week though. Nothing to speak about anyway. I'm
alright with the UFC, lad. I've been excited for this for a while.
Yeah, we're a month out from Joshua Usyk though. Seen the card? Weird. Putting random fighters on there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Badu Jack, Tyrone Spong, just weird fucking fighters who don't belong on a big card. Huh?
You've not even started selling tickets yet, have you?
No, they haven't even announced the broadcast. Weird, but it's a month away, so we'll get excited that after UFC London's done. But then you got UFC London this week, and then next week you got a pay-per-view card. Injected.
What a time to be alive, lad.
What time to be an MMA fan? If you're in London this weekend, we're not there because my wife's about to have a baby.
But Jordan told me he had a ticket. No, we haven't got a ticket.
Yeah, we did have tickets on offer. But
that's what happens.
If you're there,
I just get fucked over.
Yeah, but you could go on your own, are you?
Jordan does this, right, and goes, I don't know, well, you know, I can't go, so you
It
can't
is
go.
what it is.
I, on the other hand, get them tickets to go and see Paolo Nutini for Crimble.
Oh yeah, thanks for that. Be a belt.
That's the difference in friendships.
No,
here.
we only got lads. If you want tickets, I've got them there. That's all we got.
So why didn't you go? Yeah, we'll still have them. And there you are. I can't go.
Because you got an abscess.
You're fuck off, lad. It was selfish of you, that.
To be honest,
Me and producer Musk could have went.
Yeah, you don't like UFC.
Selfish, lad. That's
But
what he's like.
If you're there, I'm not letting these go and not have me there. So if you are there,
I'm glad he said that. How fucking selfish.
I can't let you watch that and me being ours.
Why?
Cause
you should have still got the tickets and
you sending me selfies and that.
Admit it was selfish.
It was selfish, but it wasn't. I forgot more than that I didn't want to give you them.
You forgot that it was on.
No, I just forgot that there were tickets there for you. You would have had to pay.
And
I'm sorry. What a card though. If you
On
go
that
and
note,
enjoy, if you're not, come over to Patreon and win a loads of dough.
Friendship with Jordan Neal, everyone. Listen, have a belter weekend. Make sure you get on with that over to that betting show. Joking aside, Joe does put in a lot of work with the UFC. You know, the backgrounds and the tips and all that. And like you say, we do pretty well from it. So get involved in that. Make sure you get on the Wednesday Patreon shows. And also, the fantasy football has kicked off. So we've already got about 300 quid already in the pot.
You've done your team?
I know.
Early?
Nah.
Have you got Nunes up top?
No, fuck.
We haven't done Nunes on this. We need to do a section on this Nunes, lad. Are you going to Charity Shield or whatever it's called?
I don't think so.
Good. You don't want to watch him as much as I don't, do you?
But yeah, like I say, last year we had about 2.5 grand in the pot. This year already, I only put it out a few hours ago. There's about 300 quid in it already. So get involved in that. And yeah, come and join the fun on Patreon. Have a boss weekend. And we'll see you on... You know what we've got on? Should we tell them who's the next guest is?
Yeah.
Tom Wickstead.
He's back.
Tom Wickstead was in the studio with us last week. He's been on Patreon now already. For those who are on there.
Loads of good feedback on it.
For everyone else, I think it'll be out on a week Monday, I think. Anyway, enough from me. Have a boss weekend.
Cheers.